Hello there, my beautiful friends. How are you doing on this fine day? We're already 50 games through the entire series. That's halfway through the series already. So, this is episode 6, and today we're going to mostly talk about something really, really nice, which is targeting. I think most people just, in general, forget about targeting, or they think it's just not important. And as a newer player, maybe not so much. I'll agree. I'll agree as a very beginning player, if you don't even have third tier or fourth tier upgrades, like targeting is going to do almost nothing for you. And that is the truth. But as you get to be a better player, it becomes more important because you're going to have other people who are doing those little tiny things slightly better than you and making themselves do better than you just from that little tiny itty bit of changes. So yes, targeting usually in general, does not affect the game that much, but if you want to be a really good player, you need to learn how to target well. So that being said, let's talk. Also, I want to mention that targeting is kind of one of those weird things where it's very situational. So it's kind of hard to say, you need to do it like this, you need to target like this, you need to target like that. It's always situational. It depends on the map, it depends on your towers, it depends on everything that's going on, it depends on what your guy's rushing you with. So it's very hard to say just do this in this situation because, again, it's so situational. But in general, you usually want to keep your dart monkeys on first or last. Dart monkeys, whenever they start chasing, it's actually a really, really bad thing. What do I mean by chasing? If the balloons, for example, on this map, if the balloons go all the way around and they start to leak through, all of our triple shots are actually not hitting those pinks anymore. They're actually barely hitting, they're just missing them and they're walking right through our freaking defense. So we can't really keep them on first all the time. Sometimes we should put them on strong or last or mix it up a little bit. But in general, keeping dart monkeys on first is probably a fairly smart thing, unless you have a bunch of straight lines on your map. Or zigzags. Now, there's a lot of maps that you notice, they're very, very similar, where they have some small zigzags throughout the map. Like there's the Golden Gate map, there's the map that we played as the first game on this video, and there's just a lot of them in general that, oh my god, look at this guy's record, 14, 80, 86, holy crap, this is going to be a rough game for sure. But nonetheless, there's a lot of levels where the dart monkey, putting him on last is actually fairly efficient. There's only a couple towers where you should put them on last, almost every single time. Dart monkeys you can do a little bit, but glue gunners for sure, I love putting them on last. Glue gunners are like the main tower that, okay, it actually makes sense to put them on last. I know some people like to put their glue gunners on strong, but I actually disagree with that. I don't feel like it's a bad thing, but I feel like last is better. He misses less, and he just, in general, shoots back and hits mostly the strong blues. If you put him on strong, sometimes, if the balloons start leaking through, for example, if there's 3 blacks in his range, and instead of shooting the one in the very back, he's going to start shooting one all the way in the front. Even though there's 3 in his range, you shoot the one in the front, which seems like a good idea until you realize if he's starting to chase the balloons, he's going to start missing, start hitting random balloons, they're kind of in the way, and it doesn't really work out that good. So that's why I like to put the glue gunners on last, shooting basically against the grain. But there is a couple other towers where targeting is fairly important. So this is going to get really intense. Oh my god, look at this guy. He's going to rush us with zebras. We had to use the battle energy there just to survive. Now we're going to sell some stuff. We got to keep on going, get more juggernauts. It was just a little bit too little, a little too late. That's terrible. I really wish I was able to just get my juggernauts up in time. I just went a little too greedy with my farms. We're already 50-3, man. We don't want to lose very many more games than that. I was going for a 90-10 win ratio. That was my goal, so if I can do that, we're on the road for that, so I'm pretty happy overall. But of course, you always want to make it better, right? I want to make it better. So we talked about glue gunners, of course, always on last. We talked about dart monkeys, another one. The only other one that I really, really recommend in every single situation is to always put cannons on close. Just do it. It's very important because it helps out so much. You don't realize how much. Because here's the thing. Most people are going to use third tier cannons. Alright? And by cannons, I mean 0-0 cannons or third tier cannons. 3-0 cannons or 3-2 cannons or 4-2 cannons. Put them on close. The only thing is Moab Maulers, more often than not, you should probably put them on strong. But nonetheless, 3-0 cannons, 3-2 cannons, 4-2 cannons, put them on close, and here's the reason why. The cluster is just so freaking gigantic that you just want the bomb to hit somewhere. Alright, so usually you want to put your cannon somewhere where he's not going to miss a lot. Because that's the biggest problem with the cannons, just in general. They miss a lot if you keep them on first. He's going to shoot through the thing, he's just going to randomly hit things, because the bombs move kind of slow through the air. So you will end up missing a lot. and when you miss with one little bomb, then you don't get the giant cluster bomb that destroys all those balloons. So you'll notice when people are sending out pinks against you and stuff like that, if you leave your cannon on first, you will get absolutely annihilated. You need to put them on close. But other than that, it really is very, very dependent. Sometimes you want to put things on strong if you have something like a cannon. If you have the cannon later on in the game, you don't want the blacks to walk through and have that be your limitation, is you can't pop blacks with the cannon. So, sometimes putting them on strong and whatnot, but usually, in general, leave most things on first. It's okay. It's okay to leave things on first unless you have a strategic advantage. So we went for a kind of risky rush right there with the regrow whites, and he surprisingly defended it very easily. So once I saw that, I was like, okay, I really can't do very many rushes at the moment. So we're just going to have to wait it out. Now, I do have a third-tier banana farm, which, oh my goodness, how the heck did that guy defend that thing? What? How did it? What? That was ridiculous. How did he defend? I am very upset with that game. I feel like I probably should have won that game. Now, that is 2 games in one of these episodes that we lost. Ugh. I'm used to going 10-0, 10-0, 10-0, maybe 9-1, but now 8-2, if that. Now, we're only halfway through the series, so we really got to pick up our strategies, guys. Really got to pick them up. But we did face 2 fairly good people, and I felt like I did pretty reasonable rushes against him. It's just he was able to defend them fairly well, and sometimes things like that just happen. Sometimes things just don't go your way, or somebody, it doesn't mean they're better than you. It doesn't mean they're the best person ever. It just means sometimes they're good. Or they do something smart. And that you really can't predict it overall, because that's the point of the game, is you can do things after you rush and everything. So nonetheless, we got a bunch of dart monkeys right now. We've got our banana farms going, and we've got our little baby wizard. Somebody rushes us with let's guess what we do. So we're also going to counter rush with a regrow white rush. It does not kill him though, but he uses battle energy, and the battle energy has wore off, and we do the regrow zebra rush, and of course take them down. So actually, kind of sad right now. We don't have very much battle energy, only 5 battle energy, so we're going to have to kind of keep it down to a minimum. Try not to use his battle energy as much. Of course, I don't know if you guys remember, but I have a lot of limitations on myself. I play 10 games in a row. I'm playing on a computer where the mouse is sort of hard to micro with. I know people might argue that it's really easy to micro on a computer, but you're not used to playing on. You're used to playing on the flash version where there's hotkeys for everything. But no, we don't get hotkeys when we're playing on the computer on mobile version. Even though it's kind of weird to think of it, it is the mobile version on a non-mobile device. I mean, that's the truth. It's just kind of weird to think about it like that, but that's what it is. So I think that's probably about it for targeting. I can't really think of any other towers, like I said, that would for sure you need to put it on this. I like the circle path for the monkey ace. I like to put the helicopter on pursuit. A lot of times I put the wizard on strong rather than keeping him on first, and I just like it a little bit because I feel like it does a little bit better job against those pinks. Because then you use your 3 regular shots on the pinks, and the lightning just hits the lower level balloons, so we're like slowing them down to get more damage on them overall, which in general makes me happy. So for this game, Hydro Dam. Hydro Dam is a rough one. Sometimes I do not use the farms on Hydro Dam. You probably should just get some really good towers if you're going to go no nano farms. I would normally not get a submarine, but because I didn't go with any nano farms, I know I can get airburst starts right from the get-go. I know I can cause a lot of damage by rushing with balloons. So you're noticing on Hydro Dam and also on indoor pools, I usually do some pretty solid rushes in the early game. Blue-pink mix and or pink-black mix. And I think that's probably the best topic for my next video is rushing with mixes. I want to talk about mixes and double rushes and super mixes. So this guy's really good as well. We got 53 and 8, so we're going to have a rough time again. Now our record's better than his by 2 times. I don't know if he actually by 2 times because he has 4 times as much, or 2 times as many losses, but this game's definitely going to be tough. It's Skizzy. It's kind of a cute name. But I noticed he didn't go banana farms. And he's got a ninja monkey. Like, really? Do people really think they're going to do really excellent? And he's not going very many balloons against us? Like, what is he thinking? We just got 4 banana farms for round 6, man. Holy crap. Well, for sure. We got this. Like, when I see this happen, I usually think, I got this in the bag, dude. Unless he does some ridiculously awesome rush, we are going to win this game. So that's what I did. We went for a bunch of yellows, and I killed him with yellows. What just happened? Sometimes you get these really good people who just make really noob cakey moves or something like that. Samuel Chuscoto. Chumscoto Gutierrez. Sounds very, very Spanish or Mexican or I don't know. Normally people don't put all three of their names on there. That's why it just sounds Spanish. So anyways, we've got our banana farm. We also went for something a little bit funky here. I was like, let's have some fun today, guys. We've been doing dart monkeys every single game. But of course, other towers are not bad. I know I use dart monkeys because I wanted to teach everybody a really solid strategy to use in most situations. But you can use other towers for sure. And they're no way bad. And dart monkey might not be the best strategy ever. But it's a very solid strategy. It's a fairly easy strategy. That's why I show people how to do it. So this is what I did. I got the boomerang and I got the engineer. And those were my two main towers. I was kind of hoping for a better camo detection tower as my random tower, but if we get a monkey village, technically it is a really good camo detection tower, but it also costs a whopping $4,000, almost $5,000 to get him, so probably not that effective. So I decided to go for a little bit more cleansing foam instead, and just go for some rushes. So surprisingly, I don't know if you guys saw that, we went for a Rigo rush, and he surprisingly killed it. And then we went for another rush, a Rigo Rainbow rush after that, and with his lightning wizards, again, surprisingly beat it. So I was like, screw it, we just gotta go all out here. I sold all of my towers and my banana farms, and we went for the rush. That's all I'm gonna have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and have a super duper delicious day.